Hey everyone, welcome back to the realm. I'm Gina.
I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
Jenny, Kez, and Rob are not with us today, but I'm back. I've been gone
The
for a few weeks.
leakers. Oh,
This is our Weird Weekly News, and instead of Weird Weekly News for the next 2 weeks, we decided to change it up, right, guys? So we are going to on this episode, we are going to share with you. We each did some research. We decided to do this on a past episode. We're going to give you we're all coming blindly with the weirdest Ripley's Believe It or Not episode or fact or person or case that they have on this week's episode. And next week is going to be the weirdest Guinness Book of World Records, a record holder that we can get our hands on. So essentially what we're doing, we're all going to blind react to each other's choices, and then we're going to put it to you, the listener, to vote on who you thought brought the best, weirdest case under each of those. And we do have a prize package. We're going to do a giveaway. So when you vote, your name will be put in the drawing, and we will be giving a giveaway. You have to watch both episodes, and you have to vote on both episodes to be put in the drawing. We'll talk about what the prizes are later. So, you guys ready to do this?
sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, I'm going to share my screen. So each week we bring you our blind reactions and all that jazz, and we also the jazz hands. We also decide the fate of who is going to go first by utilizing the wheel.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Whoa. What we got going here?
What did I forget?
What's this Brian and Rich sharing a piece of the pie here?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, that's because I thought Rob was going to be here and his name was in between and broke up those colors. So now that's going to look like we're going to have to really pay attention to the line. It'll announce. All right. So
We'll err on the side of Rich if it gets to that.
Exactly.
I'm sure we will.
So for those of you listening, wherever you find your podcast, you can find us on YouTube and watch the episode if you want to see our lovely faces and watch all the action here that we show on the screen. So without further ado, here we go.
And spinning that wheel. And wouldn't
Rob.
you know it? It's on the
Can't
same
get better than
thing.
that.
Rich. Gotta be Rich.
It's got to
Oh
be
no,
Rich.
that's actually saying it's me. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So close.
Wow.
All right. So we'll remove.
You know what? I wonder
Maybe.
where it would have had to land in that piece of the pie for it to decide, like if it would have been close to the center, if it would have went, which way it would have went.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
We would have just called it you. So
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Do the easiest.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Well,
So we're doing Ripley's today, yeah?
Yes, today is
All right.
Ripley's.
Today is Ripley's. Well, I feel like the story that I'm coming with for Ripley's, I picked it because I felt like out of all of the weirdness that is in Ripley's Believe It or Not, this one, I believe it. And I kind of remember hearing about this one, and I thought it was just nice. We're also getting to this time of year with end of the school year.
Okay.
Prom season is just around the corner. So this Ripley's Believe It or Not, a mom made her daughter's prom dress completely out of Starburst wrappers.
Oh,
So
Okay. How do
No.
you even find that much time?
I don't believe that.
oh, I think that that Gina's gonna have to pull it up so we can
I
see.
am right now.
I mean,
So it took 6 years for Karen Frey to collect and fold thousands of Starburst wrappers to create an amazing dress for her daughter's prom. And not only did she make the dress, she also made matching earrings, shoes, a clutch, bracelets, and a matching tie and vest for her daughter's date to prom.
What
It's
was her
very
name?
cool. What's that?
What was her name?
Her name is Karen Frey.
Okay.
Kerrin.
IN. Yep. I
Yep.
found it. I'm gonna.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Here, 1 second. We go back to. All right. I think that I found it.
It's pretty cool. Oh,
That-
cool. That's one with her wearing it. Okay, even better. That's really, yeah.
Oh,
The
wait.
shoes.
No thanks. Oh, it might not let us view it.
What
Okay, hang on
the
1
hell?
second. You know how it's like you go to these news places and they want you to sign up for their website. So
Oh,
it was-
there. That's good.
There it
There you
is.
go.
There it is. So let's go here.
Yep. That's the one that has made it to Ripley's, believe it or not.
So it took her how many years you said? 6?
6.
So she planned this a long ass time ago.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And where does it say? It says River Falls.
Yeah, but this says Twin Cities. Mom makes
Oh,
River
okay.
Falls. Yeah, River Falls teens prom dress.
Okay. I didn't know if that was our River Falls.
No, and it seems like everything I'm trying to go to just wants me to subscribe to their webpage to show you pictures. So that was quite interesting.
It was.
6 years, and she made the dress, the shoes,
A clutch, earrings, a bracelet, and a matching tie and vest for the prom date. That's super cool.
That is dedication. Like to come up with an idea that long ago.
To follow through, and it looks like it's an actual dress and looks like what you would expect a dress to look like. It doesn't look chintzy in any way.
I'm
That's what I
just
was
trying to
wondering.
figure out how she did it.
That's what I was wondering. Is it
because-
really just made out of wrappers, or is there like just a blank sheet of
Well, the
material
shoes for
underneath and then she put
sure.
everything to it? I mean,
Here's the vest.
it says Wisconsin.
Oh, it
Says
is you.
after
Okay,
5
it is
failed
River Falls, Wisconsin.
Well, you know what? At least she failed 5 times and she kept going.
That's true.
How many do you have to eat to make this?
Oh.
Like, I've just.
Well, wait a second, though. It says that it took years to make it, but that the theme of the prom was Candyland. She couldn't have known that 6 years in advance.
No, well, I wonder if they made it Candyland
And then it just happened to be
because,
that.
or they knew
Because of
that
that?
she had the dress. Yeah, maybe she got a
I
hold
wonder,
of
yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Because yeah, obviously it probably got around that. Hey, check this out.
And it's entirely out of like, did she glue it onto the dress, or did
That's
she
what I'm
just
wondering. Yeah.
make
The way
dress?
that they're kind of folded and interlocked is how, people do that all the time. You see them
Oh,
fold their
yeah.
Starburst wrappers and make kind of a
Yeah,
knit pattern,
yeah.
but it still has to be attached. Like with the shoes, it's
Yeah,
just a
it's
pair
attached.
of shoes that she put it on.
Yeah.
Did you see her date's face? Looked like he was telling the story. Like, man, I had to eat all these Starbursts. So where do you think all these wrappers came from?
Did they have any teeth? That's what
Left.
I want to
right?
know.
Yeah, that's a lot of Starburst too, now that you think about it. Like that's
Yeah.
not just
It is.
a couple of packs here or there. That's a lot.
Did it
Man.
say how many candy wrappers? Because I was so preoccupied with trying to find it that I didn't hear if you had said
I think
that.
it says, and the picture that I got is like a picture, because this is in Hollywood, by the way, where this one is actually at. It's at the
Okay.
Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium in Hollywood, is where they actually have all of the dress and the accoutrement. Says thousands of Starburst wrappers.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. I like your story. So now
Yeah.
I want to see let's see who's next. See if we can top this story. That takes dedication. So I applaud the mom. I could not have done that because I'm just not, I don't think I'm that good of a parent. Maybe I just couldn't have done it.
No.
Yep. Again, I picked that one because I believe it because I can see it actually happen.
Yeah.
I noticed with Ripley's Believe It or Not, they really do walk that line if they want you to believe it or not.
Do you remember the show that it used to tell you, give you a scenario and say believe it or not, and you'd have to decide like whether or not it was a
Dean
real
Cain
story.
is still making money off of that show.
Yeah. I remember that. All right, that was a good show. I liked watching it. Superman.
I was always more partial to the Jonathan Frakes show, where it would give you a real story or a fake story, and then you have to find out which one is which. It's on Pluto TV. I'll look up the name. It's a great show. People should watch it.
All right, let's see who's next, guys.
Big surprise.
All right.
Can't go first, go second, Rich.
Yay.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right. That's what Ricky Bobby said.
That's right. What do you got?
Well, I looked through a bunch of different stories. And there's a lot of oddity stories that you find with Ripley's. A lot of like people with modifications to their bodies and weirdness.
I did notice that.
Involved. The one I found after looking, and I stopped on it and I had to think about it for a minute, but only for a minute because it falls right into our wheelhouse of what we're about here. And maybe you guys have heard this one or not. You tell me. In the Ripley's Believe It or Not museums, they have what they call a vintage vampire killing kit.
Ooh.
Yes. They
are listening.
They are described as a must-have for wealthy nobles traveling to Eastern Europe during the mid-19th century. So with vampires making a comeback.
Right. Yeah.
At least in Hollywood, all the movies being made, right? These things are still useful. It says there's only a few original kits left. If you look them up, people are selling them on Etsy, eBay. There's a lot of different kits. Obviously, people try to replicate it and put different things together. I'm going to tell you kind of what's in it and what was in the original kits. There's only 26 actual kits still around, and they can be found in the museums in 8 countries around the world. And with the interest of vampires on the rise, these kits are among the most popular. The one trying to see which one is. I see they're all kind of similar, and
so I've pulled up, just for those that are listening, I've pulled up a screen to share with some of these original vampire kits.
What it reminds me of is more of a Van Helsing type thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they want to describe it as a Hollywood vampire thing, but that's definitely not. But you see how they got like the wooden stakes and the hammers and they say there's like holy water, wooden stakes, crucifix, silver bullets, which I wasn't sure on the silver bullet thing because I wasn't privy to the information that a silver bullet kills a vampire. We were always
watch Monster Squad, and they never bring that up.
You always think
it's always the werewolf.
Yeah, the werewolf thing. There's also garlic in these kits. And by looking at all the pictures here, they're all pretty about the same. The revolver, I mean, everything.
Sweet.
It's about the same type of things in each kit, which I thought was really cool. And that's like one of the most popular things at the Ripley's museums when you go to these ones all over the place, because they all have them. Well, there's 8 of them around 8 countries. 26 of the locations have them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see right there, they're talking about Van Helsing. And that's what when I first saw it, that's the first thing I thought of. I didn't go the Hollywood route of like Twilight and all that happy, kitty stuff. I thought of like the monster, the typical monster, universal monsters and stuff like that,
Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, stuff like that. And by looking at them, you can look at how they look. And just if you were in front of that thing, I could just see myself standing there just staring at it, because it's like, man, Look at, yeah, there you go. That's perfect right there. There's their
So
silver
these are
bullets.
vials of, so these are the silver bullets
Yep,
here.
silver bullets, your
Okay.
crucifixes. Yep.
So is this the holy water
That's
then?
probably looks like the holy water or garlic. That could be
See, I
looks
did
like the
not know
garlic in there.
about these bullets. I had no
I-
idea that these small revolvers had anything to do with with
Yeah,
vampires.
I as well. I was shocked when I was
Look
like
at
silver
this.
bullets.
Look at this stake.
Yep.
It's a cross, it's a crucifix and a stake, like all in one.
But since when do silver bullets kill vampires?
Exactly. I don't know where that ever
That's
came
very
in.
strange.
I didn't get to the point where I started looking up that theory behind it, but most of the kits that they have and the
Maybe
ones
it's for werewolves too, since the only way to kill a werewolf is with a silver bullet. They're like, if you got vampires running around,
Well, we must have werewolves.
Yeah, you might as well get the werewolf package with your kit just in case.
Oh yeah, let me see. I'll take the werewolf package and you better give me a big sickle just in case we run into any leviathans. Because we need that. I mean,
you know what I think would be interesting is if they took some of these kits and like DNA tested the end of these stakes.
Right.
Like did a blood analysis, like find out if there's blood on the end of any of these stakes. Wouldn't that be amazing?
There'd be a lot of cold cases that would be solved.
Right. Because I mean, what we know now from back, if you believe it or not. If you go back, if you go back to the 19th century when they're talking about these things when they were made and actually people were supposedly using them, what we know now, I mean, you got how your fingernails can continue to grow or the hair grows and stuff like that. That's where they were basing all their forensics on of it's a vampire. When we now know that that's just part of when you pass. Sometimes that happens, your fingernails still continue to grow. If you were going to pull one open, a casket or whatever, that's what they say. I've never had that experience. God, I hope I never do. But
I think we might have talked in an earlier episode about the one of those Josh Gates episodes where they thought they found the vampire, and they talked about all of those things like the fingernails and the hair, and that the fingernails, because the skin dries and gets it gets dried out and shrivels up a little bit, it makes your fingernail look longer, but it also makes your cuticle look like you have more fingernail. So when people would see those things, that's what they would think, oh my God, that's still happening. Or the same thing with your hair. It's the same kind of effect that happens with that. And people would see that, and that's how all of that thinking gets started.
Right.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when we did the Weird Weekly News about that monk that
probably
the
starved themselves into they turned themselves into a living mummy, started mummifying themselves.
Yes.
So if you're interested in listening to that episode, we did that I think a few weeks ago, so it was a good episode. Check it out. All right, are you guys ready for me?
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Okay. So I really think I'm just going to start this with a video because I feel like it's the only thing that I could do that would be responsible when telling you guys this. So for those of you that are listening, head over to YouTube if you'd like to, or head over to our YouTube channel if you'd like to.
Come over to YouTube. Come see us.
Come on and see us, because this
Pee-wee
is something else. Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, slow motion, even better.
He looks like he's about to die.
Yeah, I think he is. Might as well add a cigarette to the list.
So I
really want to call, but is there any other video of him doing this?
So no, there isn't, but let me tell you about this gentleman here. His name is Dagmar Rothman. But what ended up happening is I originally saw it on Ripley's Believe It or Not through their Instagram. They had a video posted way down, about this guy because I was going down a rabbit hole with Ripley's Believe It or Not and Guinness Book stuff, right? Like this was just an interesting,
Ripley's was a
interesting
big one.
research. So this guy, so what ended up happening was on their Instagram, they had his name spelled wrong. They had Dagomar Rockman, Rochmann. But so it took me a while. I had to do some research and found that it's Dagmar Rothman, and he was originally named Dagobert Roman. He was a German professional regurgitator is his title, his official title. So for those of you who are listening, the video
now it makes sense.
Yeah, the video we just watched was of this guy, and the video is rather old, and he puts a small piece of citrus fruit. I don't know what kind of citrus fruit it was. He put it in his mouth, and he proceeded to then like swallow it. And then as he swallowed this entire citrus, he put a cigarette in his mouth and was like started smoking a cigarette on top of it, and then starts to regurgitate it back up. Only I don't know that that's what he's doing in the beginning. It just looks like he's honestly choking to death and trying to smoke a cigarette while he's doing it. Like, I'm just going to go out the way I want to go kind of thing. Yep. And so that's the video we just saw. And then he regurgitates a citrus piece and it falls out. So his name, he was born in 1920 and he lived till 1952. He was, like I said, a professional regurgitator. I'm reading this from Wikipedia because that's where I was finally able to find some information. His stage name was the Great Waldo. So if you look up the Great Waldo, you can find some more information, but I haven't been able to find any other videos yet. He was known to be able to swallow many animals, even including fish, frogs, mice, rats, and was able to regurgitate them on will. So he was actually born to a Jewish family living in Germany. So he grew up obviously during Nazi Germany. So his family, I think, and him had fled to Switzerland after Adolf Hitler had invaded Austria, the story goes. While he was there, he was doing these sideshows, and this American sideshow talent agent discovered him there and then brought him back to the US. So he actually ended up performing with Ripley's Believe It or Not, because Ripley's Believe It or Not has been around since 1918. So he performed with them. So I think it was like a sideshow thing where he'd swallow inanimate objects like the ones that I just mentioned. He was even able to like swallow a series of colored balls and regurgitate them in a specific order. So if you're like, spit up the red one, he would spit up the red one. Like,
how would you know that?
That I don't, I'm calling bullshit on this guy from the beginning. I don't believe it.
But okay, so there are other regurgitators out there though. So this guy, Rothman, they said he was always dressed up. He wore a tuxedo, he did his thing. He ended up passing away. He took his own life in 1952, reportedly over a woman. So that was sad. But I thought bullshit too, but guess what? If you Google professional regurgitators, he's not the only one. There are people that have literally gone on like a modern day shows to like show that as a talent. So I don't know.
Here's the bullshit that I'm calling.
Okay.
Is I think they're loosely using regurgitate when really what they're doing is it's like a magic trick. Or a contortionist or somebody like that you have, or somebody who's double jointed and can move a certain way for things. I think what they're really doing is they just have some sort of weird knack of throat control, because he clearly didn't swallow it.
Right. It's like it went partway down.
Like he was choking and then can bring it back up.
Right.
Like he's not swallowing a ball and then bringing it back up. It's in his stomach and he brings it back up. He's not doing that. So I think it's more of a magic trick I think it's less impressive than what theatrically they can make it look. I'm not saying it's easy or everybody can do it, but I think that it's more of a magic trick than anything else.
I can definitely see your point, because it's not like it's going all the way down to their stomach. At least his wasn't.
No, definitely not, because he looked like he was choking.
Yep.
There's this guy though that there's a guy on David Letterman at some point that did this. Then in 2010, Britain's Got Talent, they actually had a regurgitator that did this. And so we can post some videos of that stuff when we post this.
What's the difference between this guy and an illusionist then?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's actually putting, I don't know, because I guess maybe there isn't.
Because illusionist makes you believe they're doing all sorts of things too that you don't think can be possible.
Right.
And yet they're doing it on stage and they're making you believe it. So, I mean,
especially if one of his tricks is I can swallow 3 different colored balls and I can bring the right color up that you're asking.
Yeah, that's
for.
that. Right. I don't know how
there's no way you could do that.
Yeah, that one's got me.
Yeah, that one. There has to be some sort of sleight of hand.
Yeah, and I was just trying to look something up really quick. I mean, I have this Britain's Got Talent video queued up, basically giving, don't do this at home.
Sure.
These are $50 coins.
So is he going to do the same thing, then bring them back in a different order? Or
maybe.
Order they request? That's why they got numbers on them. I don't know how you...
He said everything that goes back in. So he put in number 1.
Okay. He appears to be swallowing this.
Yeah, I don't know.
The second one, I don't think he's swallowing.
So what it's saying, and I wish you guys could hear this. I'm not sure why. You can actually hear it hitting in his stomach, supposedly. So I'll post this video so that everybody.
I think there's a lot of theatrics there that he's making.
Yes.
There's a lot of misdirection. I think.
Yes.
He's making you. He's
so
hitting
he
his
swallowed
chest,
his
so
5
you're not.
coins.
Let's see.
So somebody in the crowd just said, "Cough up number 3." And number 3. So somebody in the audience said, "Regurgitate number 3." Now there's now they're saying 1 and 4, but I don't know which one's going to come up first.
I would be willing to bet, like most magicians who can bend a spoon or who can swallow these coins and bring them up in the right order. If I gave them a handful of my change and told them to bring up the penny or then the dime, magically they can never use your things. They can bend a spoon, but not if it comes out of your drawer. And I got a feeling this guy can bring up the proper numbers with his coins. Nobody else is. I don't think he's swallowing them. I think he's tucking them somewhere in his mouth.
Right.
And he has them marked so he can feel it with his
probably.
That's a good point.
I mean,
like Rich said, he's doing so much theatrics like a magician does. He's waving his hands around in his sparkly outfit and doing things to distract you for what he's
Yeah, I agree.
Ripley, I don't believe
I mean, it's cool what he's doing. I mean, let's give him credit. I mean, it's definitely a cool trick and what he's doing, but I mean,
but it's just that
this was about Ripley's Believe It or Not. So I guess
that's the
we don't have to believe everything that they had in there, right? Because some of the stuff in there is kind of like hokey. So I mean,
here's why I went with Starburst rappers. I knew that one. I knew that one
was at least real. So, but remember, we're not voting on whose story we think is plausible and possible.
No, we're voting on whose story we think was coolest.
That's right. So it's into your hands, listeners. It is into your hands now. So
everybody likes Starburst. That's all.
Time to vote, America.
So make sure you follow along with this. Listen to next week's episode as well when we bring up the Guinness book, and then we will make the announcement about the giveaway and let you know what date we're going to do it. We'll give you a couple weeks, give everybody a couple weeks to learn about the contest and get their entries in, and we'll tell you exactly how to do it in the next episode. So great stories, guys. I ended up on a Ripley's rabbit hole that you would not believe. I'm sure you guys did too. So it was really great. This was a lot of fun. So thanks, guys. So remember, follow along with us. We have our full episodes every other week. Next week we have DB Cooper coming up that was recorded. So it'll be a good episode that Brian led. And we got
let's go down that rabbit hole, everybody.
I know, right? We have so much more coming up this season. We have the mysteries of the Appalachian Mountains. We have a UFO series coming up that's going to be
Ooh.
out of this world.
That's going to be
so
good.
We're going to talk about Bob Lazar. So it's going to be a good one. So you guys still follow along with us. If you have a weird news story or anything you'd like to see us talk about or do some research on, make sure you get a hold of us. If you just remember, what do we want to remind them of, Rich?
Does it have something to do with hunting the paranormal?
That's it. That would be it.
Do they know where to find us at though? That if they need to get us, do they know?
Why don't you tell them?
connectedrealm@gmail.com.
That's right. connectedrealm@gmail.com to reach out to us. If there's any place you'd like us to investigate, we do local. We'll go up to, we will travel. It's a case by case basis on those things. And so if you know of any place you'd want us to check out, or your home or business or whatever you'd like to have that investigated, get a hold of us. We are your people to
Yes,
do
we
the
are.
job. It's free. We just want to talk about it afterwards. So,
Yep.
All right, everybody, take care. Stay weird. And we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Peace out. Bye.
Hey, for everybody, the show I was talking about is Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. Check it out.
That's right.
That's a fun show.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. So go watch it and watch our
That's right.
episodes and vote.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Bye.